This video is an interview with one of my clients who made over $10,000 with online and hybrid baseball coaching. Now, I need to warn you, when I did this interview on Zoom, I recorded it improperly, so you're only going to be able to see my client. You're not going to be able to see me, but you're going to be able to hear the entire conversation that we had, walking through his step-by-step journey to making over $10,000 a month with online and hybrid coaching. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Got a special client interview today with my guy, Dylan. Dylan's been in the program for a while now, and he's had a pretty good amount of success. But Dylan, I'm not going to steal your thunder. Why don't you go ahead, introduce yourself, and we can go from there.
What's up? I'm Dylan Hawks. I've coached now for 3 years, just in between the summers of me playing. This is my first year done playing. I was a Division I pitcher at San Diego State and Utah Tech, and decided to take up coaching full time. So yeah, I've coached for 3 years and decided to jump in this program because I felt like I kind of hit my limit on what I could do in person.
Yeah, sick. Well, I appreciate you jumping on, dude. I'm really excited to dive in. Why don't we just kind of start with a little bit of background? I know you mentioned you felt like you were maybe a little bit maxed out of like what you could do in person. Maybe paint the picture for me of what your situation was like before you jumped in the program.
So I was pretty much just stealing high school keys from whoever I could to get on fields and find time to do bullpens with guys. And um, you kind of hit your max there, right? Because guys have to play their summer ball games. High school fields are rented out, so I could only get in at certain times of the day. But I was full, and I had a wait list too of like people that wanted to get in to see me. So I wanted to learn how to capitalize off that. I started posting a little bit on my Instagram, not really knowing what I was doing during that time, and like had people reach out about like, do you do other kinds of coaching? And I was like, I have never thought about it. Like mostly it's just easier for me to coach people in person. Like I don't know how I do it online kind of thing. And so yeah, I was just curious on I saw like some stuff on Facebook and like I had followed where you came from forever. Like I think I knew who you were and like had been around for a while in the baseball community watching programs that I didn't know you were build and be like, wow, that's sick. Like those guys can do it. And then yeah, found out that you had been involved with those. It was like, well, heck yeah, I'm gonna fire me up. I'm gonna go talk to that guy because I followed these guys that have done really well forever, and I'd like to learn how their systems work. So
Yeah, sick. Sick. Yeah, it's pretty cool that you would kind of know and at least a little bit of my background and like my training days, which is sweet. Um, okay. So I guess fast forward, you're like, hey, I want to talk to this guy. I want to jump into the program. Like, what was the deciding factor of you wanting to be like, all right, yeah, like let's do this, like let's pull the trigger?
so I talked to a couple other guys before, um, just going through their program, and like when I talked to those guys, I felt like it was a lot more based on how many guys can I bring in and make a lot of money versus like how many people's lives can I like bring in and genuinely change. Does that make sense? Like, and then just like kind of talking to you when we jumped in and talked, like I liked how much it was like, no, we're not trying to make as much money as we can. The money's a byproduct of offering a good coaching to people everywhere. And I like that shift from like, we're going to teach you how to sign up as many people as you can and make a ton of money. And, like maybe the quality will suffer a little bit, but like you'll be able to make a lot of money. And I just like take pride in my last name. Like that's how I was raised and don't want to put bad image on that name for not offering good stuff. And so when I talk to you, just like, yeah, we're focused on quality. We're focused on making something that'll make an impact on athletes. And I think all through the trainings, like that's talked about. It's not how much money can we make or how can we trick these people out of money. It's legitimately like, this is how we're going to get kids better. Like that's what we're focused on is getting the athletes that we work with better. And I think just in our initial phone call talking about that when I jumped on, like that kind of shifted my mindset of like, yeah, it's not this guy's not in it for teaching how to make how much money, but how many lives can he or can you impact and can he help you impact him?
Yeah, sick. Sick. I appreciate you sharing that, dude, because obviously, like at the end of the day, like you get into coaching because you want to help as many people as you possibly can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and you want to make a difference in the athletes' lives that, that you're around. So, I guess like when it comes to online or maybe even the program specific, like my program specifically, did you have any like specific hesitations or maybe skepticism when, let's say, like you saw some of the claims that I was making, or coaching athletes online? Like, is this actually going to be beneficial?
Yeah, I think there definitely was some. Like I mean, I don't have a crazy following on Instagram, and I didn't even have a crazy following on Instagram then. And so you see the claims and you go look at those guys, and like some of those guys have like tens of thousands of followers, right? And so you're like, man, I don't have that following. I don't know how I'm going to capitalize. I know I have a good product, but maybe my content's just not there. And so that's kind of where my hesitation came from, was like, man, could I really make this kind of money if I only have, like, right now, I think I don't even have 900 followers. Like I got like 800 followers on Instagram. Um, but I think going through the modules and learning that, it's not necessarily about how many followers you have as much it is about how well you show up for people online and what you can offer. You can capitalize off of, you don't need to have 10,000 followers to capitalize off of what you're putting out online. And so I think that was a big thing that I learned that I really liked. So
Yeah, sick. Are there any other maybe beliefs that you had before you came into the program that after you went through the program had changed?
I think too, I believe going into it, like I could offer online coaching. And based on prior experiences that I had as a player doing online coaching, I had kind of this idea that online coaching wasn't great. Like there wasn't really a lot of change coming from it because of some people that I paid online to do my own coaching. I didn't see the improvements that I felt like were offered. And so like I was like, yeah, online coaching is a good way to kind of get like a basic understanding, but you don't really see a whole ton of improvement. But then jumping into the programming and learning more, I just realized that these other companies that had worked with me as an athlete maybe weren't as efficient in the way that they did stuff. And so my belief got knocked out real quick of you can be a good coach online. And I've seen athletes' lives change and their performance change because I was taught how to build a good system. And so that was like probably my biggest limiting belief coming in, was that online coaching is only going to offer a subpar level of coaching that'll like kind of teach an understanding, but can't change an athlete. And now I'm a firm believer that and I even tell kids that I work with in person too now, like I can help you even more working online because of different things that come in play versus just seeing you once a week. Like you
Yeah.
will get so much better because of this online aspect now. So like now I push a lot of my people that I see in person to do online because I see so much more valuable in the way it's built now.
Yeah, that's super interesting. What do you feel like you can offer online that makes it better than what you could do with somebody in person?
I think consistency, like in person, it's once a week, and I do bullpens. So a bullpen's like 25 minutes to 40 minutes. So I see you for 40 minutes a week. If I get you online, I can now be present with you in some way every single day. And I think consistency is going to win in the long run, like stacking small wins versus like once a week I get coaching, right? And something I always say is like, when I see you once a week, we're working on the same problem for 2 months. When I see you once a week and I can now work with you online in between those, that same problem gets solved in 2 weeks. So now we can move on to the next thing, move on to the next. So your development's not taking a year to get through like 4 or 5 mechanical flaws. We can knock that out in 6 months, and now you can get on to competing at a high level way quicker. And so, yeah,
Yeah, sweet. That's super valuable insight. I think for anybody watching this too, because that's obviously like, I mean, you even said it yourself, like the skepticism of like, can I actually help athletes get better online, right? What do you feel like inside the program you learned when it comes to like creating a system to help athletes online that allows you to, provide a better service to your athletes online than just in person?
I think I learned how to take like how to be a more well-rounded coach instead of just like I can slap a band-aid on it until I see you next week, right? I think it pushes you as a coach to be able to have the honesty and the integrity to say, look, I'm in it to get this kid better. And I think online you learn, like in the modules and stuff, you learn how to do that, how to build systems, how to make it consistent so a kid can get better, how to build that program, what kind of like you go through all like, okay, this is the athlete, you know, and how I can take this athlete from point A to point B and kind of plan that guy to get there. And I think it makes you a better coach all around because now it's just not I look at every kid as a paycheck, right? Like every kid that comes in, I get $50 for him. It's more like,
Yeah.
no, I know this kid by name. I know his routine. I'm part of that routine. Like there's a lot more value. And I think I learned that in the modules of learning a player instead of just looking at them as a piece of or like a $50 bill or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I appreciate the transparency too, because I know like that's not why anybody gets into coaching, but it can turn into that very easily when you're just doing these once a week lessons and it's sporadic and people come in whenever they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking a little bit off camera before about the beginning of the program and how it was a little bit difficult right off the rip. So, do you want to talk about like maybe your experiences jumping into the program and what it was like at the beginning?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I signed up and I remember getting off the first call and like I signed up, like we went through all the details, whatever. And I looked at my wife because we were in the car actually. I don't know why we're in the car. I think we're at a friend's house or something. I'm like, I got to take this call. So I jumped in the car. But we had just done it. Like money had been sent off, whatever. And I was like, I'm gonna sell like I'm gonna get 10,000 this month. Like this is gonna be sick. Like I'm hyped up for it. And then the first month I got like three people, and it was like, man, I am getting rejected so much, and this sucks, right? Like I'm doing everything right. I'm grinding the modules. I'm doing everything, and I'm getting rejected. And so the same thing, like month number two, I'm still grinding, like seeing successes here and there. And then, month three, I'll be honest, like month three, I kind of fell off for a minute. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna like I am so frustrated with what's going on that I'm just gonna stop. Like, and then I have a good wife who's like, dude, you got to pick this up. Like, you're better than just kind of like letting this go off to the side. Like, this is such a valuable resource. So yeah, kind of took like 3 weeks where I just thrown a pity party for myself, right? Then got back into it, and I was like, hey, if I'm not going to sell, then I'm going to apply those modules to the T, like I have what I want to have, so that when it comes, I'll be ready for it. And so I spent, I had another month where I didn't do the greatest again. I had people still on, but I wasn't really selling as much as I want to. But I was building, anticipating that would come, like trusting in the programming, trusting in what was out there. And then, yeah, last month, all of a sudden, the switch just flipped. And now I'm ready for all these people and I'm selling like crazy. And I have so many people like wanting to get my program and stuff and like have to cap at a certain amount. But it was like 4 months of like nothing. Just keep your nose down, just keep going, get ready for when it comes. And it came. And it was never a matter of what it was never a matter of if it's going to come, but when it's going to come.
Yeah, sick. And I think that that's a super common mentality amongst the people that are the most successful in the program, right? Because I think you being transparent right now, saying like, hey, like I kind of threw a pity party. Like I appreciate that transparency, because people out there, they need to hear that. And so, what I want to commend you on is even if you weren't seeing the results in the day to day, you had the belief that it was going to work. And what do you know? It ended up actually really
Mhm.
benefiting you.
Yeah.
So congratulations, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And I know you said like you started making a bunch of sales. Everybody, wants to join your program now. What was that switch, that flip for you to take it from like, whoa, nobody wants to join, I'm getting rejected, to now like, boom, everything is happening at once.
I think two things. I started going inside the thing. There's like group calls, right? So you jump on with a group of other people doing it too, and you get to learn from them. I jumped on right before the beginning of the year this year in December, and we were talking about the turn of 2026 and like building your vision and what you want to become. and just hearing what other people's goals were and stuff and being around a community of like-minded people, I think kind of started to light that fire under me. And then, yeah, the coach reached out to me, shout out Matt Ross. And he said, hey, dude, like, I think you got something really good, but I'm going to challenge you to do something crazy. And said, hey, can you hit this number of people signed up by this day? And like from the day, I think it was like 6 days I had to get there. And I looked at it and I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to get there. Like, I don't have this many leads. I don't have this many calls booked already. But like, I'm just going to put my nose down and just go get after it. Right. And every day, like, I had the accountability of I'm following up with him, like sending him my number of how many clients I had signed up. And it was awesome to see, like, in like 4 days, I signed up like 12 people, which was like insane to me. Like, I haven't signed up this many people so far. And in 4 days, I did it just because someone was willing to kind of tell me off and say, dude, you just got to put your nose down and go. Like, you're sitting on something good. And it's kind of selfish of you to sit on something good and not push it out there to the athletes that you're working with. And so, kind of just getting past myself and getting past the, like, there are going to be people that say no, like, and that's the reality of it. And that's kind of where I was stuck, is like, I don't want to hurt people's feelings pitching it to them. But then I started doing it, and like, more people were saying yes than were saying no. And I was like, wow, I've just been sitting on this, but I just needed that accountability and someone to be like, dude, you're sitting on something good, get after it, and you're going to see results.
Yeah, that's sick. That's sick. Shout out Matt Ross if you're watching.
Yeah.
That's cool. So obviously you signed up a bunch of people in a really short amount of time. Can you talk a little bit more about the experience inside the program and what it's like? Because I'm sure there are people watching this right now who are like, what is this program? How does this work? Things like that. Like maybe just give like a brief overview in your own words of like how you would describe it to somebody else.
Yeah, I think the program offers you all the tools that you need to build a successful online coaching business and hybrid coaching business, right? But that's what it is it offers you the resources, it offers you the people that help you do it, and a community that wants you to succeed. But at the end of the day, it comes down to, are you going to put it into play, and how hard are you willing to work? And I think that's probably when I took my pity party, was I thought that since I signed up and I was in this modules, it was just supposed to work for me, instead of more, okay, I have all the resources. It's about how well I apply it and how well I use the people around me to get better. Like, the content is awesome and it teaches you a ton. Um, but when you use the people too to clarify your questions, and you're not afraid to kind of fall on your face and stand back up and start running again, and using those people to help you get back up, I think that's the most valuable part of the modules. Is you go through the modules, you learn, you can build. They're super easy to follow, super easy to put into play. And then having the people around you that are willing to push you to, now you have these modules, now let's apply it. Like, you've built something great, but let's apply it. You know what I mean? So I think that was the program. The most valuable part was the people. Like, you're around people that are like-minded, that want to be successful, that want to change other people's lives. And I mean, who doesn't want to be a part of that, right?
Yeah, sick. Sick. I appreciate you sharing. And obviously, like, dude, the community is probably the thing that like I'm most proud of in my entire life. Like what we've been able to build. Who would you say is like a good fit for the program and the community? Like if they're watching this right now, like they absolutely need to jump in.
I think if you genuinely care about the people that you work with in person and want them to change, you jump in. Because I think right now, and where I was at before, like, my system was good enough to get kids good, but now I feel like the system I've learned using hybrid programming, using online programming, I have a system that makes kids great and makes a lot of change happen. I don't think it's for necessarily, and I don't think it's for people that want to make a ton of money. Like, this is like an investment, and I just want to be able to turn this in and, like, just have as many clients as I want to and make as much with low effort. I think there's still effort involved, but if you genuinely care about the people that you work with and want them to get better or succeed and play at that next level, I think this program is exactly what you need, because you're getting into something where you're taking a kid and making him able to reach his dreams. Like, I think that's the most, like, fulfilling thing I've got out of the program, is now I feel like genuinely kids come to me, get better, and they have these goals they set and they hit goals in 3 months that they've been setting for years. But like I've never been like no one has ever where I'm from, right? I'm from Utah, and so the stigma around baseball in Utah is very different. Like not outing anybody, but like a hard thrower in Utah is like 83 miles an hour, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
this guy throws hard. And so there's this like limiting belief that like that's what is hard. And then I get guys that throw with me for 3 months and it's like, what? I just popped this new number that like is some of the best in the county. And it's like, yeah, because there's consistency and you're bringing a high level coach who cares about you and can apply a program that you can do every single day. Um, and I think that that is the kind of person that this program is perfect for is you genuinely care about your athletes, you genuinely want to see them succeed, and there you will get paid. Like that's a byproduct of being a good coach and being able to uh, produce results. So
Yeah. Sick, dude. I appreciate you sharing that. And for anybody that's watching this right now and they're a little bit like, skeptical, they're on the fence, they're not sure if this is going to work for them, what would you say to that person?
I would say jump in with 2 feet. And I mean, if I can do it, you can do it. Like that kind of thing. Like I'm not anybody special, you know. I did this program while I mean, I'm married, I have 2 kids, I was full time finishing up college still, and I was able to do the program. Like we had to make some sacrifices, but we made it work and it's benefited us greatly in the end. Because I know a lot of times like the hesitancy is do I have the money or do I have the time? And I feel like we made room for that to happen and that investment was worth it to us in the end. It was definitely a sacrifice up front. It's gonna cost you time, it's gonna cost you money like any great thing does, but the return you get of your investment I think is great.
Yeah, sweet, dude. I appreciate you sharing that. And I want to say, like, number one, congratulations for being here. Obviously, like, we have given you the tools and the resources, but at the end of the day, you are the one that created the success that you have right now. So you should be very proud of that. What's your plan moving forward?
I'm gonna grow. I'm just gonna keep going. I mean, it's amazing to see results, and I love to see athletes achieve their dreams. And I've kind of dominated the hybrid side of things where I'm from, and I see them in person. I do stuff uh, online to supplement throughout the week or whatever it may be, and I'm excited to now. I'm going to turn my brand outward to online, kind of launch it on a bigger stage and pull in more kids from across the country and go from there. Because I think I've learned, I've proven to myself that there's so much value in online coaching that whatever kid needs that help, he should have access to it. And I would be doing a disservice as a coach if I didn't put what I'm offering out there because I believe, based on what we've learned in the modules, right, there are thousands of kids looking for exactly what I have to offer. And like my job as a coach, if I want to be a good coach and make a difference, is to find those kids and give them the opportunity that they deserve.
Yeah, sick, dude. Dude, it's so cool how like clearly impact driven you are. And I want to say, like, my advice to you would be like, never lose that. You know what I mean? Always keep it about your clients. And if you do that, you'll be able to build whatever it is that you want.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course, bro. Is there anything else that you wanted to say while we got the camera rolling right now?
Um, no, I mean, yeah, just jump in. Like it can be scary, but jump in. It's worth it. So
Yeah, appreciate it, dude. And for anybody watching this, where can they find you?
you can go find me on Instagram at the 1% by Hawks.
Sick.
That's my tag right there.
Sick. Yeah, I'll put it in the description, man. But Dylan, I appreciate you jumping on, dude. Congratulations. Super stoked to see, where you end up going. And if you're watching this right now and you're a coach and you haven't booked a call with us yet and you're not in the program, what are you doing? Book a call. Anyway, Dylan, appreciate you jumping on and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Thank you. Have a good one.